hard, learning on the job, on the fly. Was it good for him to maybe take a week and maybe slow down a little bit and take stock and just review on what he's seen so far?
Yeah, I think so. It's good to kind of take a step back, physically and mentally. It's a physical and mental grind. I mean, he's been hit, a decent number of times. It's you get into that routine where every Sunday, Monday, you got to kind of start to climb that mountain again of the game plan, familiarize yourself with the other team, to go through the practice. I think it was good for everybody, really, because it's been a long, it was a long 8 weeks there, to just kind of take a step back, be able to kind of evaluate where we are, a little more timely, other than, you try on Sunday, Monday, but you got to get ready for the next games. And I like to sit around and really look too hard at it. So I think it was good for him. I think it was good for everybody. Kind of just take a deep breath here. We got a lot of good work done, practice-wise. I think the guys got their bodies right. I thought even last night when we went out there, we saw a lot more speed from our guys than we had the last few weeks. I think there were some guys who were pretty run down because it's kind of the same guys playing every snap at receiver, every snap at up front, So I think it was good for everybody.
For Josh, with Art, can you expect a little more from him in these last 4 games with that bye week, with the review, or is it maybe too much to ask him to make these huge strides in the last 4 games against such tough opponents?
Yeah, ultimately, at some point, you have to make some of these plays. I mean, it's, you have to get help too. I think he was kind of moving in the right direction. I mean, drops happen. I mean, everybody jumps on them, but they dropped a few too as part of the game. I think, but it was good to see him get to some of those throws. But, ultimately, yeah, with 4 weeks left, I mean, you'd like to at least go into an off-season saying that you saw some, there's got to be some, whether it's an off-schedule play here or there to convert a third down. I mean, the other day when he, ran for the first down on 2nd and 11, I mean, and the ball ends up in the end zone. I mean, it's usually what happens on some of those drives where you kind of create the extra set of downs one way or the other, whether it's moving and getting the ball out to somebody or running for it or just making a play, so to speak. I'd like to see kind of more of that so it just doesn't go, everything you can script it all out, but you'd like to see a little more above the X and O type of play from everyone, really, to feel a little bit different about going into the offseason.
Is third down the biggest issue you guys have as an offense? I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that you guys are ranked last nationally in conversion rate.
Yeah, it's not, it relates to first and second down in that almost half of them have been 10 or more, which a lot of issues go into that, but there's no question. In fact, even when we talked about it in the offseason, it was going to be, what is going to be the biggest issue for young quarterbacks? Was third down. There isn't even any question. The red zone, that's a little different. We haven't been down there enough anyway to even, but I think third down was going to be the biggest issue, particularly we don't really have bell cow that you say, whatever we do, throw it to him, or let's just format everything to get it to him, whoever him may be. So that's part of it. But I think in the end, we got to give them play selections and give them a chance. And then, at some point, in third downs, it's really the quarterback's got to make it work sometimes. And that's where, again, it's like I said at the beginning, you don't score. If we don't have any explosives, and we're having trouble on third down. So eventually, the ball is not advancing anywhere near the end zone.
Is he making the right decisions, though? Because I know Northwestern game, you had the batted pass that probably would have been converted, drop that would have been converted. It seems like he's getting the ball in a lot of situations where it needs to be, but protection breaks down or there's a drop.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been more comfortable. I think he's been, we try to every week kind of see where we are and what other teams are doing. And for the most part, everybody's just playing man against everybody and trying to get people open. But I do think if you watch, he's moving quickly through his progressions. Even on first, second down, he's getting the check downs faster if he needs to, rather than hanging on something. So those type of things. Because a couple of those third down throws were really not his first read. They were second or third reads, which was good to see him kind of working through that. And especially because more than not, those are under some sort of duress, one way or the other, in terms of the rush. We try to, get some things to get it out a little bit quicker for him. I thought he operated pretty well with them. We just, obviously didn't make enough of them.
Offensive identity, I think we talked about that 2 or 3 weeks ago. Do you feel like you're progressing in that department?
Yeah, I think as we get a better feel for, who we want to use more and what guys we can kind of hang our hat on, I think that'll unfold a little bit more over these last 4 weeks. I think we started in that direction the other day. And I think as we go, you kind of start to see that a little bit more and how we want to play the games and how we can realistically expect to play the games in these next 4 weeks.
Let's go again. Time of possession, how much thought do you give to that? Because obviously it was not, you guys didn't have the ball much last week against Northwestern, and this is a Wisconsin team that's all they want to do is kind of grind you out and lean on your defense.
Well, it's not something you can manufacture in terms of working the clock. I think, again, it comes down to converting third downs or hitting the bigger plays to keep the ball, having more success on first and second down and give yourself a better chance on third. I think it was more our doing than theirs, however you want to say it, in terms of, not converting enough third downs to be able to sustain drives. Because, like I said, we've cut back on some things to kind of be able to get up to the line and go in terms of moving guys around and shifting. But I do think it comes down to more. It's more on us to, give ourselves more downs than it is, anything else.
Any other questions?
I don't know. I just stepped in, so I
Yeah.
just want to ask you something more big picture on. You had the bye week offense. What are if you could point 3 things that the team needs to do better at, what would be those 3 things?
Well, third downs would be number one, without question. And that goes, top to bottom, whether it's protection, to get an open, to get through the progression, all those things. That would be number one. And then 2 would be how we go about first and second down to help the third downs. To make sure, like I said, what I had said before, nearly half of them have been 10 or more. So, you're not converting a whole lot of those, no matter what. And if you are, taking chances that, maybe you should take or shouldn't take. So I think that would be the second thing. And then the third thing, I think, would be just to see, who the guys really are. Because I think we thought certain guys, and, maybe we still think certain guys will be going, or we're not sure. But I think these last 4 weeks about finding out who we can really do it in games. So you're not sitting around and getting an off season going, wow, this guy looks great in spring practice, he looks great in camp, and get in the game and go, I don't know. I think that's that in that order. If you had to roll them through, I think those are the things to find out.
I've said this a couple times. I don't know how you'd answer this, but I haven't seen a wide receiver get a 50-50 ball. I don't remember how long, and I know it's a tough thing for an offense coordinator to answer. But sometimes we look at it, and fans say, "Well, it's a play calls or whatever." But we haven't seen a wide receiver come down with a 50-50 ball. How do you come to grips with just that notion of sometimes the players need to make play on those?
Well, yeah, it really is always the players, that do things above the, you just put on any game yesterday, half of them guys moving around, they throw it up and, oh, it's a touchdown. It doesn't even resemble a play, and the ball goes in the end zone, or it's a 30-yard gain, and the next play goes in, whatever. So, but, like I said all year, without those plays, that ball doesn't advance. You can call whatever you can do whatever you want. At some point, somebody has to, I don't think anywhere in this league, I don't think we're going to be running wide open a whole lot. It's just how it is. Maybe you get a play action deal and a guy really pull everybody up and the guy's a little more open, but we're getting played awfully tight across the board because of that, because of not making enough plays. So people are just figuring they can tighten it up to the point where the whole defense is about 7-8 yards from the line of scrimmage, and if you don't do anything about it, there's no reason for them to move back. So that's been the big frustration, I think, for the whole year is, I believe me, during the week and during the Saturday, sit there and go, which one of these is going to get down the field, and then, maybe get the guy open in protection or whatever it might be. But that's been a big, we talked about it in here. We've shown clips of people doing it, other people, TV, whatever, on Saturdays and Sundays. Guys make these plays. The kid from Northwestern against Wisconsin last week, he goes up with one hand, and gets the feet down and pins it to his body. If you don't have that play, well, you don't know how the game goes. So those are the things that give you a chance. I mean, I watch these spread offense, gun run deals. I mean, they throw these jump balls in the seam and the guys come down with them. So that's been a frustration all year. We're trying different ways. We'll come up with some different things to try to spring guys loose this week and see if we can't get that done. But that's part of, like you're saying, as you go down the stretch here, trying to figure out who the guys are. Somebody's got to come up with something that you put on a highlight tape. Like right now, our highlight tape would not consist of much. It might be sort of a handful of runs, but I don't know what passes would be on there, as a season-ending tape right now.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
guys.
Sorry.